Hello, everybody. Um, Change of scenery. You're on the floor now. You get to see more of my room. Per usual. Um, I watched. It's October 1st, 10:41 p.m. I watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off today. Right after Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So great double feature. I guess I'll go into context first. It's homecoming week at my university, and so there's a bunch of events going on, and one event tonight was hosted by Panhellenic, which is like the sorority group, like overarching sorority groups on campus. Like their domineering organization. And so they hosted a movie night at the stadium using like the video board, and they chose Ferris Bueller, which great pick. Um, and so they called it Flick on the Field. We had it up on the video board, and then people were like scattered around the field on blankets and stuff and watching the movie, and they had popcorn and candy and hot dogs and stuff. So it was a cool little, I guess, event. It was nice. I'm not in the best of moods right now, so I'm not sure how much I'm gonna say about the film or just other stuff. I guess it's a movie log, so I can just say I don't have to inherently review the film. I can just talk about the film and talk about how the film makes me think, I guess. But I this film's great. I don't think you need to even argue that this film is good because it just is. And it's the type of movie that like restores your faith in humanity in a sense. And it's the type of movie that just is such a good like pick me up, I guess. Which is funny because other stuff, but like this is just renowned as like a rainy day film, or just a safe option film where everyone's gonna love it. And I think, like, yeah, that can get cheesy sometimes, but with this film, it just works. It's just a good film. Um, yeah, it can get a little annoying. It seems like everything works in Ferris Bueller's favor, which even Cameron points out. Cameron, Cameron points out at one point, which is true, and kind of gives this movie a fake feeling. However, that's Ferris Bueller talks to the camera. He breaks the fourth wall. So like you can't even say it's like a realistic film because of that aspect. Ferris Bueller breaks the fourth wall. He talks to the viewer directly, which I think is great in this film. I don't think it's obnoxious at all. I think it is portrayed in a good way and isn't overused and is used in context that makes sense. And so I, well, yeah, it can be annoying that like, oh, everything works in Ferris Bueller's favor. However, just have some fun with the movie, I guess. Watch it and enjoy it and laugh because this is a very funny movie. Um, which is great. The trio of Ferris and Cameron and Sloan all work so well and they complement each other so much, and it's refreshing to see a teen movie like a teen based high school movie that has this. Especially nowadays. um but it's there's nothing I could say about this film that's new. It's a classic, and rightfully so. um John Hughes. I think the world would be a lot better place if John Hughes was still alive. I'm going to say that. I think the world could really use a John Hughes movie right now. Um, which is it's so sad to say, but I think it's so honest and so a testament to not only the movie industry but the cultural zeitgeist and how just society is right now. Because when you think of John Hughes, you know, you have the Breakfast Club, you have Ferris Bueller, you have 16 Candles, you have Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And but then you also have his like writing for Home Alone, see like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Like this guy is such a pivotal part in so many people, like so many people's lives while they were growing up or movies they watched. And there's a reason why John Hughes film is its own category. You know, I think the world could really use a John Hughes film or a John Hughes-esque film right now. And when I think of any recent movies that are like that, we have what was it? Snack Shack that came out last year. I haven't seen it yet. But I've heard that it's like one of these coming of age movies, but no one's heard of it. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't seen any buzz about it. I guess you can partially say the holdovers, but that it still doesn't have the fantastical whimsy that John Hughes film has. And it sucks that he passed away at 59, you know, when he's made all these amazing films that mean so much to so many people, and they're always in the pick me up category. They're always in the feel good category. They're always in the just watch and laugh and have a good time. And I think that the world needs a John Hughes film now, or at least like a John Hughes-esque director to come in and just bring some whimsy, bring some joy, bring some light to the cultural zeitgeist in the movie industry. But the scary part is that I don't think the movie industry would allow that to happen. You know, it's a John Hughes-esque film isn't going to be greenlit right now. Sure, you have films like Bottoms that came out, which again, you can like sort of mesh it in, but I don't know. My favorite character in this movie is Cameron. You know, I think Alan Ruck portrays him so well. Who I learned was 29 when he filmed this, which is crazy. But I think Cameron is portrayed very well, and I think he goes through the most in this film, and you see his, I guess, evolution. I think this is a Cameron story that is told with Ferris Bueller as the main person, if that makes sense. Because, well, everything is surrounding Ferris Bueller. Cameron is the one that's going through the character development and standing up for himself and, like, realizing, I guess, who he is, not attached to his father, and just, like, all that. And he has a few lines that are just kind of crushing, where he talks about how they're going to go to college and not see each other anymore, and that it's interesting to see him say, like, that day has nothing good going for it, when I think everyone in their heart wishes that they had a day like that. And you see how it is, and you see his house, how it's so bland, how it's so bare, and how he is sick and just is like basically comatose in bed. But as soon as he leaves, and as soon as he dresses up, and as soon as he goes out with friends, he's a happy and fun person. And I think that speaks a lot on, you know, who he is and the type of person things that he's had to go through and what he has to deal with. And seeing Ferris and Sloane in a happy relationship, when Ferris points out that he's never been in a relationship and he's probably going to marry the first person he meets, and his mom and Cameron's mom and dad are fight and they hate each other, and his dad loves the car more than him, and it's weird because you have the plot of Ferris Bueller and Sloane and Cameron going out and hanging out and doing these amazing, so fun things that everyone wishes they would do. Then you have the B plot of Ferris's sister Jeannie trying to out Ferris and has to deal with the principal and then goes to the cops and all of this. But then there's still the Cameron story, and I latch onto that the most. Um, I think I relate a lot to Cameron, which is why I latch onto it a lot. Um, and yeah, it feels real, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, it's a Wednesday night, and for context, Wednesday nights I always host a movie night at my apartment. Um, Usually it's a horror movie night. We get a turnout of like how many 8, 9 people, 10 people, sometimes 12. And it's a good time. And we didn't host that tonight because of this. And it felt a little crushing because no one wanted to come to this. Um like I asked people and they were like just didn't say anything or they'd skirt the conversation. But then I show up and some of the people are there in their own group and then they don't even like I don't know say hi or mention me or I like walk up to them and try and say hi. I set my stuff down next to them, but then still nothing. Um, that hurts because this is a movie that I wanted to enjoy with my friends. It's a classic film where you can just sit back and watch with people you love and all have a collective good time. And I really wanted that for this film, and I didn't get it, and it sucked. It hurt, but and like you just see, this is a film about friendship at the end of the day. And when like watching a film like this, when actively dealing with these like friendship problems, it kind of sucks because like I wouldn't have been hurt if yeah I canceled the movie night here, but that was because their homecoming is hosting it, and so seems about right. If everyone was like no, we aren't gonna go to that, and I went by myself and it was just me, I would have been fine. However, it's the fact that there were people there and they just didn't I don't know, they just didn't pay me any mind. Like hmm, um I don't know. It's very crushing, I guess. Um that's yeah, I'm not in the best of spirits right now, I guess. Which sucks because Ferris Bueller is the type of movie that puts you in good spirits. But the I don't know. I mean there's a reason I'm talking to a camera right now and a lapel mic and am going to post this to a YouTube video that YouTube channel that no one knows about, no one watches, rather than me talking to my friends about the movie. You know, as hurt, whatever. As like lonesome as that seems, it's there's a reason behind it. I guess that's a side tangent that is more personal than what this movie is. But I guess it's a movie log, and how I feel due to the movie is how I feel in this It's obviously not a problem that stems from the movie, but it's a problem in this movie got roped into it, I guess, which I don't know. I don't know. Um how can I say that isn't depressing? you know? I got tea. It's breathe easy. I'm still getting over this cold. It's getting better. My throat is still, but but yeah, I finished. Is the movie review over? Bro, it was so weird seeing Charlie Sheen, recognizing Charlie Sheen as the police kid, the boy in the police station. Like, what the fuck? He looked like a vampire, and, I like did a double take when I realized it was him. I'm like young Charlie Sheen, who in the movie still looks like he's on drugs. Like, you know. Hmm. But yeah, I don't know. Feel like I'm not sure how I'm not good at talking, so like this is getting me to talk more. This is working on that. But no, I guess back to the movie. Ferris Bueller, very good. I don't need to tell you that. You know that. Anyone who hasn't seen Ferris Bueller needs to see it. Um, because this is a quintessential film that's I think all the good people grew up watching Ferris Bueller. And I think the world would be a better place if Johnny was still alive. And yeah, I think that's all I got. I somehow dragged this to 17 minutes when, whatever. I'm not going to edit it. I don't give a shit. Maybe I'll give a shit someday, but this is just a movie log. But, yeah, I watched this film out of the stadium at 8 p.m. It got over around 9:40 and I walked back to my apartment and now I'm talking about it. That's it. There's approximately an hour gap between watching and finishing Texas Chainsaw Massacre and watching this movie, which is a double feature I'm very proud of. But yeah, I think that's it. I hope you have a good. I hope I have a good rest of my night, and I hope that you do too, wherever you're watching it. I hope you stay safe. I hope you have some peace of mind, and I hope you have clarity. And um, I think that's all people can ask for these days. So I'm gonna awkwardly scoot closer to the camera so I can turn it off. But thank you. Bye.